I see what ho, chaps and chappets, Game Chap and Birdie here.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, fellows, and I dare say we are now discussing here some rather interesting rumours which have been making the rounds recently. My word, there's been a flurry of speculation, old chap, concerning such things as female Link, extra characters in Hyrule Warriors, and last but not least there, Hyrule Warriors on Nintendo 3DS.
There most certainly has been, yes indeed, old chap, yes indeed. But let's have a look first at this female Link in Hyrule Warriors thing.
Now, this is very interesting, fellows. To give you a bit of backstory on this, this is, of course, I believe the third or fourth in a line of Nintendo rumours we've had recently on all manner of subjects. Now, this particular rumour stems from the fact that in the Hyrule Warriors art book, the Japanese art book, I believe, there was a little bonus page or a bonus section of sorts, if you will, showing sketches and designs of characters that aren't currently in the game. Now, one of these characters just happened to be, guess what? Yes, you guessed it, female Link, I say.
Most certainly, there she is, wearing her long, sort of legged boots things, holding the old crossbow and everything.
Right,
and
well,
very
yes.
much a female Link. Now, if you look at the words there, you probably can't read Japanese, but actually, the word referring to the girl actually refers to her as a little sister, apparently.
Right, and according to some sources, some chaps were thinking that perhaps this was Link's daughter, but in fact it turns out in the art book she's referred to as his younger or little sister. But of course, fellows, we have to bear in mind that this character is not currently in the game, and it has not been officially announced for the game. In fact, female Link, as you may or may not know, has been a well-loved subject of much discussion on the internet over the years, and
Yes.
many fans have often done fan arts and drawings of female Link, but this is by no means official.
But most certainly. Now, as for this little book thing, I'm sure chaps and chapettes and people listening out there might think, well, how do we know this book is actually real? Well, we've no reason to believe that the book is not actually a real art book that they have. They issue
Right.
these sort of art books with games.
I've got one of Fire Emblem, I believe, yes.
Yes, indeed. You can get them over here, and of course, this looks to be a genuine one,
Right.
but just a Japanese one.
Okay.
The thing is, though, is it saying that the character, not young Link, but the female Link, is going to appear in the game? Does it say this?
Well, apparently the name of this character, this female Link, listed in the art book, is in fact Rinkurul, or which would translate to English as Linkle, if you will.
Linkle.
Bit of a Japanese sort of sounding name there, and perhaps
Yeah.
not the final name if it were to be translated to English. However, we have to bear in mind that this female Link character is actually listed under a page which is titled in Japanese, Previously Unseen Rejected Characters.
Hang on, wait a minute. So
Okay.
we've got this book. Hey, just hold on there. We've
Just
got
put
this
the brakes
rumour
on a moment,
going
right.
around everywhere. That female Link might suddenly appear in Hyrule Warriors.
Right.
And then, but actually, it comes from a book, which is genuine, seems to be genuine, that actually says under the heading, Previously Unseen Rejected Characters.
So what we're basically saying is not only is this rumour a bit sort of shaky from the start, we can actually say, no, this is a complete load of nonsense, because this character is specifically described as being a rejected character.
Well,
So
hold on.
I really don't know how this thing started in the first place, old
Well,
chap.
hang on, I want to go further, and that is, if it says Previously Unseen Rejected Characters, would it be unreasonable to say, well, hang on, these chaps and chapettes or chaps out there that make the game must have actually discussed this
Yes.
around the table, as it were, and thought, well, what do you think about female Link then? I said, well, and then they ummed and ahed, and then finally said no and rejected it.
Well, I mean, we have to bear in mind that Mr. Aonuma himself, the series producer for Zelda, was in fact in command or co-command of the Hyrule Warriors project as a whole, so it could be that Mr. Aonuma himself said no to the idea of female Link.
Indeed, so it would seem that just because this picture has come out of female Link here, it certainly is not saying that female Link is going to be appearing in the game. It's not even suggesting that.
Right.
Because it clearly says that this is a rejected character.
That's
previously
right.
unseen.
Okay, so I think perhaps we've cleared up that and we can say this is a rejected character. However, despite the fact that, we don't necessarily have anything concrete to go on per se concerning female Link, the very existence of this drawing in the first place in an art book does not automatically rule out this possibility in the future. In other words, it's not completely off the table that it could appear at some point down the line. Okay, we don't necessarily know whether it's going to be in Hyrule Warriors or another Zelda game, or perhaps it may not appear at all, but it's certainly, whichever way you look at it, a very interesting concept. However, to go calling this a rumour of a Hyrule Warriors future character is perhaps pushing it a bit, I think, old chap.
Well, it's interesting. I like what you said there. Yes, indeed. Just because it's been rejected doesn't mean to say that it become, for want of a better word, unrejected. I mean, you can have an entire box of toys, if you like, in the corner there, and you may play with with the same ones every day and just one you don't play with, but you might take it out a year later and play with it.
Well,
so could it possibly be that in the future, maybe,
yes,
that they come along and say, well, let's look at this character. Yes, this one we rejected before, but yes, we might see a use for it.
Well, exactly.
It could happen.
That's right. Mr. Alnuma, or perhaps the Zelda team, could come back to female Link, or Linkle, as she's being called here, at a later date and say, yes, we can use this character here, or for this reason, or for that reason, etc., and so forth. Now, also rather interesting news, which is more away from the rumour and over into almost verging on fact now, we have had eyes, or seen, or a rather interesting trailer pertaining to an upcoming 3DS title, which is, guess what, none other than Hyrule Warriors on 3DS. Now, of course, this trailer has been released early, so we're not going to show it to you here just yet, because of course it's not supposed to be out yet, but of course we can say that indeed this game does appear to exist, and it's packing with it 2 brand new characters, apparently.
Most certainly, yes. If you don't want spoilers, don't go looking at it. But apparently, it's been leaked, has it not?
Yes.
Ahead of E3.
That's what they're saying,
so
indeed.
Well, this is what they say. So I don't think that Nintendo will be exactly over the moon with that, actually.
Well, no, but we can say, Fidels, that this particular trailer appears to depict both Tetra and the King of Red Lions from The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker as playable characters in that game. So quite interesting, I say.
Very interesting. So they seem to be bringing another title, as they often do, one on the Wii U, one on the 3DS. And putting a little spin or something different with it, as you say, they're playable characters, to make it seem different for the 3DS. Now, whether anyone will want to go and play it on 3DS after having it played in glorious, big screens, etc. on the Wii U, we don't know.
Well, indeed, and of course it is a straight port to the 3DS. Perhaps Nintendo have said, well, it didn't sell enough copies on the Wii U, so we'll try porting it to 3DS, getting some extra sales. It's a bit of an easy title for Nintendo, I suppose, on the 3DS, and a good little library filler for them. So it remains to be seen whether or not the fans will buy this game. And indeed, do let us know what you think, Felios, of the Hyrule Warriors 3DS idea. Certainly, though, I do think the idea of Tetra and the King of Red Lions being brought back there from Wind Waker is something the fans will appreciate of this game.
Most certainly. So would you like to see sort of different characters and things in the game? Perhaps even as DLC in the main game, although we've already had some, I think.
And just, let's throw it out there on the table. I mean, just hypothetically saying that female Link did make it into Hyrule Warriors, or indeed another Zelda game. Would you play that? Would you go for that idea?
Well, that's the thing. A female Link, we've never really... We thought about it, but we haven't really ever seen her.
Well, I mean, perhaps female Link would have to rescue male Zelda. I mean, what would his name be? Zeldson. Female Link can rescue the prince.
Well, indeed, is the whole idea just over the top?
Yes.
Is it just too much? I mean, a female Link. I mean, it's a bit like having, I don't know, a male Lara Croft, perhaps.
Well, it could be also...
Larry Croft.
Yes, Larry Croft. It could also be likened to a female Mario, perhaps Marietta, I don't know.
Well, yes, indeed, that's the thing. But as far as the actual rumour goes, and people saying, oh, yes, this is a definite concrete fact that's appeared in the book, so it means that they're definitely going to put it in, it looks like that's a total load of old rubbish.
It looks like a load of old baloney, Fidels, indeed, being titled Unseen Rejected Characters, although certainly these art books, as in this case, can sometimes offer a rather fascinating insight into the game's development history. And of course, up until now, we had no idea that Nintendo had even considered the idea of a female Link, much less created some concept art sketches for her.
No, indeed. So this information here in this little snippet from the book here in this picture is very, very interesting indeed and worthwhile looking at.
The only thing I have to ask, Goldtrap, is when you're using female Link in this hypothetical game, when you use the hook shot and she sort of soars forth, and can you see up her skirt like that?
Oh no, she'll have a little pair of shorts underneath there for that.
Oh, right.
Yes,
right,
apparently.
yes.
I think that's what they're going to do.
Okay, right,
well,
yes.
If they did do it, I'm sure.
I was very concerned because I don't think we should really... yes, well...
Well, that's enough of that.
Anyway.
But anyway, yes, but the thing is, what I was going to say to all the listeners out there, I mean, just in case they will say, oh no, but hang on, the game track, but I wanted it to be real. Well, the thing is...
Well, all right, it is real then, there you go.
No, hope is
not really.
Lost. Hope is not lost, because as we said earlier, there's always a possibility. If the character has been rejected, it means that sometime it has been considered.
Yes, that's right.
And things have been considered and then rejected often surface in the future, so it could happen. Perhaps we could have an entire new game titled Female Link Takes on Ganondorf.
Perhaps, just perhaps, the plot of the story, all right, is that it's a parallel universe where Zelda is actually the hero of time and Link is the Prince of Hyrule, so Zelda takes on the mantle of female Link, if you will, or Linkle, and she becomes the heroine of time to save Prince Link from...
because Zelda's not a girl anymore, she's a boy.
I know, but that's Prince Zelda.
He's a boy. So
Prince Zeldson.
Prince, yes, Zeldson.
That's right. So
Zeldson.
So Linkle has to save Zeldson from who? From Ganondorfette?
Yes,
I
Gandalf.
suppose
That's
so.
right.
I mean,
yes,
that
yes,
would work.
Granny.
Granny, that's
Gandalf.
right. She has to save from Granny. Okay, I think that's quite enough for one day. Fellows, my word, this hasn't even Game Chap and Birdie then, bringing you news of a female Link rumour, which does not appear to be true, but is nonetheless perhaps still on the table in some way, and also, of course, brand new characters for a brand new game, Hyrule Warriors, on Nintendo 3DS. My
Most
word,
certainly.
thank you most kindly for joining us, fellows, and we look forward to seeing you once more on the next exciting, jolly sword swing out, guys. Until then!